Within our culture, what is this bad man thing? What is a bad man? And why do we respect a bad man? Because we do.
So I just dropped my app, www.ChisoLifts.com. Online personal training. You got custom meal plans, custom training plans. With the training plans, you got a video showing you how to do all your exercises. You can log in your sets, your reps, the weights you use, and literally every month I changed up your plan. In the description, you got a code BESTU20 at the moment. You can use that to get a 20% discount for life. Year 9 on my way back from school, so a couple of times I used to go the other way instead of, so everyone would go overway. So sometimes we would go like Vauxhall Way, because it was like, let's go Vauxhall Way so we can go bump into some of our brethren from Pimlico and catch a bus 2 home with them, and because they all had the girls in it. Yeah. So one time now, some ODs from my ends, as we was going that way now, they've tried to rob man. So it was 4 of us, there was 2 of them, but they were big compared to us back then. So they was at least, because even now when I see them, oh, you saying soldier? They're like 7 years older. So them and them must have been like 20, I was like 13. They've tried to rob me and one of my brothers who were the smallest too. Yeah. Fighting. Smallest? Yeah. Fam, I was like down there, 4 for something. So we was fighting. We ended up in the middle of the road. My man's trying to pull out the knife. I'm holding, you get me? After all of a sudden, he just stopped and said, "Rah, you know what? You're a soldier." Moved to my next brethren, sprayed him in his face with
CS gas.
Yeah, banged him, took his phone. So
basically, like what police use, it's like a pepper spray.
It's like pepper spray, mace. So the next day, everyone's like, "Rah, how come I ain't jumped into that?" I said, "Rah, we was 4-2, but we was 1-1."
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Rah, when I'm fighting, them 2 was watching it, shook. They should have jumped in, then it would have been evens. But obviously, because they seen a knife, I understand." So after that, I remember that, remember in school you used to have these design and technology folders. Yeah. I used to say to the teachers, "Right, let me finish some of my work at home." And I might just only do little bits, not do much. But I always used to take tools from school and put it in the folder in case something happened. So if something happens now, I know that, I've got a saw, I've got this, I've got that.
What's mad though, sister, is that you got to think, not to justify anyone that rolls with a knife or anything, but you got to think about someone who gets robbed at knife point, or someone who gets bullied or something like that, and then they result to carrying something to school. And remember, if that kid now gets stopped on the street or stopped anywhere with a knife or a screwdriver,
it's a criminal record. Yeah, all the way up until probably when I was probably like 19, 20, I'd always have some sort of something around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because of age.
But even me now, I've got a bat in my car. Even at my age now, I've got a small little bat.
But even in my car, I got rid of my bat a few years ago.
I said that for now. Why have I got a little bat in my boot?
I had a bat until I got rid of my. I got rid of my Passat.
What am I really going to use the bat?
One of my brethren, he's the nicest guy ever on earth. Like super calm. Like if you see him, like if you ever met him, you never think he's real bad breed. But I was like, he was the first man to literally go off the grid in school. He got kicked out of school, he went in German school. He was the first man to bring a gun to school. So yeah, year 9, 3 men in my year had straps. Yeah. That's the reason why I remember, like from then I said to him the other day, I said, that's when from year 9, when I became full friends with the bad breeds.
Gone?
Yeah. When I became full friends with the bad breeds, I wasn't scared to, like when I'm in certain areas, or if I'm in Camberwell or there's bare youths. In my head I knew that, if it kicked off right now, there was 3 men who carried something on them. So them days there, I didn't realize that, if one of them let something go, all of us get nicked.
It is fair that has you carrying weapons, or isn't ultimately. So any bad man who maybe has a gun or has a knife or has anything, isn't it ultimately fair that motivates you to carry a weapon?
I can't even say what incident, but there was an incident happened on ends here, and he saw someone get killed. One of his friends got killed by one of their other friends, and because that happened, that kind of set something off in it. So once that set that off, he just literally snapped, fam. He went from being like all of us to literally like he was on crud 24/7. He was robbing youths after school. He was sticking on older man. But when you see him now, fast forward to now.
Because even now, when I almost got kidnapped, since then, I was at my door in my car. Even if people do it anyway, but the moment I get in my car now, the first thing I do is
you man probably don't clock. I never park with my car facing the wall.
Yeah, always everywhere.
Always the other way around. Yeah. And
Same
it's
thing
just
that I do
based,
as well.
it's just based on shit that's happened. In the,
Like if I go to a
past,
rave and say that we park on a dead end and that's the way to the dead end, my car has been spun around and facing this way. And people, sometimes people think, are you crazy?
Bro, I've had this all my time.
It's mad.
It's like, and a lot of people, there's a few people who probably watch this can cuss me for this, where if I go out, I can't relax.
Yeah.
Especially in a venue, I can never relax. One, it feels like I'm back at work.
Yeah.
Two, I just know the environment of how certain things can go on. How volatile it is.
Every time we've been out, like even when
we were out there.
even when that rave, the Drake party, or that thing happened.
Have you noticed it?
I already knew where the fire exit was at that time.
Yeah.
Bro, when I walk into the dance, I walk around the dance.
I clock everything.
We're scarred in our head. I don't think we realise.
After my issue when I got stabbed, brother, it was, and I have to say, I can name his name, and it's fine. Uncle Dave, because we already said his name. Uncle Dave took me in.
Yeah.
And that's when I started doing security.
Yeah.
And brother, it was just from
Was it stabbing in an isolated incident or somebody? What? Not he was too much into it, but
he was a member of. He was a student that went to the school.
So the same school you got sliced and you got stabbed in?
Yeah. It's my old school. And I can, I don't even care. I can name the school BTG. Bishop Thomas Grant School.
To your mental health, what in general now? Because obviously this is like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So now as an adult, have you healed from that?
I would say honestly, yes, but then also I will say there's a reaction I have. My reaction towards it is if I see someone with a knife coming towards me, my reaction, the way how I will deal with that person, that I could deal with someone at any, will be a lot more different. I don't think I would lose. I'll probably lose more control of someone pulling a knife than even someone pulling a gun.
But when you see the physical receipts of what's happened. So for instance, it's on your face.
Yeah. 100%.
Am I right in saying now that you see it, but you no longer attach it to the trauma? Or do you like when you see it now? Is it just, what is it now? Is it a scar? Or is it just your face now?
It's still a scar. It's still a scar to me. I got into training. I started to do a lot of, because I thought, right now, if I die, I need to be hench.
No, I was gonna. Do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what? I didn't want to say it, but I was just about to allude to it.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
That is part of all of that.
It was that. It wasn't me being in security, then doing armed forces, and that made me hench. It was because of that trauma. And even from there, seeing that, has it brought certain things to me? Can I understand? Can I do something? No, I can't.
Yeah. Have you healed from it? I'm not talking physically. I'm talking emotionally and mentally.
Mentally, yes, I have.
Okay. Have you ever seen the guy ever since?
Yes, I have seen him.
And I'm assuming he remembers you.
He does remember me, yeah.
I don't think anyone fully heals from the trauma. And I think even part of that trauma is, as men, you started going to the gym. Yes. I started going to the gym when I thought I was going to prison. Wow. Prior to that, I never touched gym. It was in 2005 or 6, I thought I was going to prison. And because of all the stories I've heard of prison, I was just lanky. I'm naturally just skinny. When I thought I was going pen, I joined the gym. I said, I'm not going to get violated in prison, even though muscles don't change your heart. But you just assume that if you get a bit of muscles, you're not going to be a victim anymore. And I think it's that victim part of things that almost changes people and makes them to that monster that they become.
Most of the baddest guys in my school were the smartest, and it was incidents that triggered off their badness. Like they weren't like, like you're talking year 7, everyone's little kids in the playground kicking ball, boom, boom, boom. By year 9.
But what is it? Okay, but what is a bad man? But all jokes aside, what is a bad man?
Bro, to be honest,
somebody with mental health issues, someone who's been traumatized, because what we revere and call a bad man when we was younger, or even now what we call a bad man, in the politest way possible, is someone that's not all there in their head. You're something's not right there, but yet we praise them and say, yeah, he's a bad man, or he's real, or yeah, he's what is that? Man, I've seen my age and the ends who have gone loony now.
Yeah.
Okay. I put a video in the group the other day of one brother from the ends.
Have you ever had someone come to the door?
Yeah.
Of your establishment.
Yeah.
You turn around and told him about something, and what you told him is so calm, so logical.
He then flips.
But he then flips.
But it's not normal.
It is not.
But that's a bad man. Like now he's got ratings.
That's a bad man.
Like where was I the other day? I was in Birmingham the other day. There was a rave happening and there was an after party.
Right.
These are brothers my age. They came to rush the door. but they're bad man. So they rushed the door, got in now, and then they're doing the whole.
Yeah,
and I sat there like,
at your age.
what is this?
At your big age.
Like, you've got money to pay.
And that's the same man.
I don't
that's
understand.
sharing 100, what, probably maybe what, a Moe bottle each.
Hey, remember what Rick Ross said the other day?
Oh yeah, what are you doing? What's it all for?
He was like, 10 men in the section sharing one hookah pipe.
Within our culture, what is this bad man thing? What is a bad man? And why do we respect a bad man? Because we do. For instance, people had a problem with Blue Story, but didn't have a problem with Scarface. Where didn't have a problem with the craze. Like, see, when other cultures do this kind of thing, people don't have a problem with it. But what is this bad man thing that we love?
The other day, especially what Rick Ross was saying, I was laughing because it's weird when you go dances, and I'll give you an example. The summer I love before the festival.
Yeah.
And we was in our section, got bare girls, and there was man trying to force around, trying to push past girls to get into the section. And I'm looking at him like, rah, you're over there. Why are you trying to force yourself onto this, you know what I mean, onto the table? Because me, like, I might be cool with you, but no offense, just say hi and bye, innit? Like, have our little chit chat and go. Because my section, I just want to be surrounded with the few men that I came with and a whole bunch of girls. I don't want to be in a section 20 man deep, you know them ones campaigning like some old BMF video. That's not my thing, innit? So like when men are trying to gate crash the section, I'm just looking at them like windows, like what you doing here, bro? I didn't come out with you didn't contribute to the table, you know what I mean? I don't like being in a section with man that one I didn't come with, or man I don't know, because I don't know what madness you've got going on.
Don't come and bring it over here.
Yeah, you come and bring it over here. So next thing, people associate you with me, you know what I mean? I just want to just hold my corner in peace with the people I come with.
My mum had cancer, and the worst part of the whole cancer part was seeing my mum in pain and sitting there and just saying, I beg you, just transfer this to me. Let me deal with this. Let me deal, because I was taking her to chemo every Monday for almost a year. I was coming from Birmingham. That's one of the reasons why I left Birmingham to come to London. I was travelling every Monday to get to her at 8 in the morning. So I was leaving Birmingham at 5 on the train to come back and forward. And she, anticipating that your parent might pass away or die, mate. That, remember, my dad died. My dad died April last year. So April 2020. So May 2020, my dad passed away. And the maddest thing was that, imagine at the time my dad's passed away, my mum's going through cancer. Brother, I don't think you understand.
No, I remember.
See, I know we're talking a lot about trauma. You see that whole, like, your parent passing away, because my dad's passed away, and obviously Chiso's mum's passed away, Ed's mum's passed away. It's one of those things that I don't know what it would feel like for my mum to pass away, and I don't even want to. I don't even want to even.
Don't think about it.
I don't even want to. I can't even. I'm sitting in the hospital with her, and I'm just saying, it might just transfer the pain to me. Like, just whatever the pain is, let me hold it, because even with my dad passing, people act like it gets easier or better. It doesn't. You just learn to manage it. I don't think it gets easier, and I don't think anyone should ever tell somebody how to deal with that bereavement. 100%. Like, no, there's no fool's dummy 101 guide of how to deal with bereavement. There isn't.
Because when my dad died, I wasn't talking to him. I think, was it 2 months before my dad died, me and him got into a fight. Came round to my mum's house, talking some mad grease. Me and him actually got in a physical fight, punched him in his mouth. Yeah. Cool. Then 2 months later, I hear he's passed. Yeah. When I got told the news, I was like, alright, cool.
Is there not part of you that felt that you could have reconciled with him or something, or did you not?
But then hold on, let me land. So, come to his funeral, didn't cry, didn't show no form of emotion. 6 months after his funeral, I'm walking down the road, calmly down on road. Bam, felt like I couldn't breathe, collapsed. Woke up again in hospital, and they turned around and said to me, because of all the stress and trauma I've buried inside me, it caused a hole in my lung.
Stress is a killer, and also I always say that when you harbour bitterness inside you, the only person it affects is you. That other person is getting on with their life and they're free, and that's the only thing about bitterness, is that you're allowing that other person to affect you, and you don't understand how much your immune system breaks down when you harbor bitterness. It's mad. Like, I used to hate my dad for a long time. We kind of reconciled just before he passed away, innit? But it was almost like I get triggers all the time now, innit? Like the other day I was at home and I kind of missed him, and you know, like I wanted to snap out of it because I didn't understand why I was missing him, because I wasn't that close to him, but I missed him. And the weirdest thing now is that in my dad passing, it's made me, and it shouldn't be the case, made me appreciate my mum even more. Not saying that I didn't appreciate it before, but now my mum said one important thing to me the other day. She goes, it shouldn't have to be trauma or me being ill or there being a funeral that family come together. Yeah. We generally only see each other when it's something bad.
Something bad.
My mum said, stop coming to see me when I'm ill. Yeah. Stop coming to, and I said, what do you mean? She goes, stop coming to see me when I'm ill. Enjoy me when I'm healthy. Come and see me. I shouldn't have to message you or you hear that I'm not well for you to run here within 20 minutes to come and see me. Come and see me. Yeah. Come, just see me.
And then I used to, like, my mum used to do this. My mum used to ring off my phone. Ring it off. Like, I could be at work, but I can't answer my phone, but she'll ring it off. Yeah. Not knowing that she knows I'm at work, but then she expects me still to answer my phone. Then it will be like, because I don't return the phone call, then my mum's gone to call uncle. Then uncle's now called me, telling me to go call my mum. Then from next uncle is an auntie. Then it's get to pastor. And like, you're thinking, mum, allow me, I'm at work, I'm trying to do this. But then now I understood why she was doing that. Yeah. And it shouldn't have got to that point from my mum passing for me to understand that point there.
Because now you look at your phone and look at your WhatsApp and you ain't never gonna get them calls.
I ain't gonna get those calls. I didn't even realise she got sick. She wasn't well. I was at a New Year's Eve event, and my mum was supposed to have my son. Now, my mum and my son, boy, my son is my mum's world. Yeah. She don't even care about me. Yeah. So when my son's mum come to drop my son off to her, she was like, hold on, your mum's not answering the door. I was like, oh, what? So I called her now. Yeah. Now my mum never not answers my calls. She not answered the call. If I had to call my uncle now, I said, my uncle said, oh, can you go around the house and just make sure mum's okay? Uncle's gone round to the house. Go and check. He said, no, I can't hear anything. Like, she's not answering. I'm actually in the block. I'm at the door, knocking down, nothing. But then you hear something faint. So he's had to call the police. The police have come, had to kick off the door, looked in my mum's room, they found her unconscious on the floor. She's had a stroke. Now the hospital turned around to us and said, my uncle didn't do that. My mum's actually been laying on that floor for a day and a half. If my uncle didn't get into the house, at that point, I'd probably be burying my mum around about 5 years ago. Yeah. Not last year.
Even though me and my dad are not close here, I've never hated my dad.
Is that because he wasn't around for you to hate him?
No, you know what it is here? The times he was around me, he's never done me wrong. Okay. So I've never had no reason to hate him. You get what I'm saying? So even though we ain't spoken 30 years and he's said what he said to my brother that time, remember when I told you? He said what he said to my brother, but I'm just like, you know what? I don't know what happened between you and my mum at a certain point, and really and truly, I'm probably never gonna know. But before that, me and you was blessed. So it's a thing that if he did pass, it's not really gonna have, and it's not gonna have an effect on me like my siblings. But
how did you deal with the trauma of your mum passing though?
Remember, I switched off. I was zoned out for time. So
you isolated yourself.
Yeah. So before lockdown happened, I was already in lockdown mode. So like, by the time lockdown happened, I was already in that mind frame anyway. So it's like when it was hitting everyone hard, it wasn't nothing to me. It was like, I was already zoned out from everyone. But it's a thing that, I just, I try not to.
So someone's listening now. Yeah. Obviously, there's no foolproof advice to give. Like, what would you say helped you in dealing with it?
What works for me, I don't think will work for everyone. To be fair, because I'm a bit different. I feel like I'm not the norm.
He stopped training.
Yeah, I stopped training.
I carried on training.
Like I was like, you know what? Like at first I was like, let me train. Boom, boom. I said, that's what most people do to cope. Yeah. So I did the opposite. I just literally I spent time doing a couple of things I never used to do. So that's when I started buying books and reading. Then I I caught up on every single show that I wanted to watch on Netflix.
Basically, you use it as your escapism to kind of clear your mind from it.
Chilled.
Yeah. I think the hardest.
I actually took a time off to chill for once. I didn't even work either. Yeah. And the only person that I was seeing most of the time was Bola. So I'll go train Bola once a week.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like, I'll just see Bola once a week train. I'll go locks late, grab my money, and I'll go home. And that was my routine.
The toughest part, I think, was trying to stay strong for everybody else.
Yeah.
That was the part that was hard for me because my little brother was going through it, and my little sister, because we've all got the same dad in it, and that was the hardest part. Was that because it was hard because I knew that if I crumbled, everybody else crumbled.
The reason why things don't hit me as hard. Remember, my little brother died when I was 18, innit? So my brother died when I was 18. Then my closest aunt died around the same time, man. Because I come from a huge family, and it's like every single year from then it's just death. My mum's one hit me the hardest, but it's like I'm already pre-programmed to handle that, innit? So when my uncles
is that a bad thing?
Yeah. When my uncles have said to me at my funeral that, right, you can't cry in front of everyone. My uncle said, don't cry in front of everyone. Everyone looks up to me. So it's like,
but that's the hard part though, because
even from young, he was like, right.
There's nothing wrong with crying.
He was like, everyone looks up to you. Like you've always like even my older cousins look up to me.
You can't be strong for everyone though.
He was like, right, if you break down in front of everyone, it's gonna cause a domino effect in it. So the moment the funeral has happened, my mum's been buried, I said to everyone, let's leave me. So everyone's gone. I've stayed by graveside with my older cousin, me and her stayed for an hour, and we was proper bawling. Yeah. And everyone's like, "Rah, like, where was you?" I said, "Rah, I just stayed by the graveside. You get me? I just needed to just be with my mum. You get me? Because I don't know when I'm next gonna be out there in it." So I stayed there for like an hour, and it was a thing that I just realized that, rah, the reason why I can't really be mad and so sad was because I have more good memories with my mum than bad memories. Bad memories are very, very minuscule, you get what I'm saying? So it's like a thing that I know that she tried the most for me, so I can't be there bawling. When's your time's your time. Yeah. I can't be selfish and saying that, rah, because you're ill and this has happened, that you need to stay here for me, because I don't know what your body was going through, you get what I'm saying? So I can't be there for my own selfish reasons, be trying to keep you here, you get me? Because like I said, once your time is there, your time is there. And like even my aunt now, like when it comes to like cancer, my aunt is a soldier. Like me and my aunt are mad close. Like my aunt is technically like my mum, because she raised me most of my life, innit? So my aunt, she had the tumor in her brain years ago before her husband died. She beat that. She's diabetic, she's still struggling with that. She had bowel cancer, so she's got the colostomy bags. And she's fought through all of that, and all the cancer and all this came like right after my uncle died, her husband. And my aunt, she's been battling for years, and the reason why I stayed at home so long was due to my aunt. I didn't want to move because obviously my aunt was really ill. I was thinking that, rah, she's on her last legs, she might not make it, and because me and her are so close, I didn't want to be away from her, innit? So eventually when she's beat cancer and she's just been soldiering on, about 3.5 years ago, I was like, right, I said, you know what, it's finally time I move away, innit? Because before my mom died, my mom always used to be like, oh, you need to move out, get your own place. And I'm like, no, I'm not moving. And she's like, why? And I was like, right, my aunt is not well and I want to be around her. My mom's like, yeah, but you've got everyone else there. But I'm like, nah. The thing is, let's say like now, for instance, sometimes my aunt might phone me and say, Ra, could you come and do this for me? And I'm like, you know I'm at home, innit? And she's like, oh. Then I'll say, Ra, what do you need? And she'll be like, oh, blah, blah. I'll be like, you know what? It'll probably take me an hour, innit, to get down and get to what you need and get to you. But I'll still, you know what I mean? So I said to my mom at the time, I wanted to be accessible to her at all times, you know what I mean? So that she doesn't have to worry and panic, because like, you see, like,
but another thing, the situation,
my little cousin,
is there not other people around her that could be there for her?
But bro, I said the same thing with my mum, but
and it's mad though.
I said the same thing with my mum.
My little cousin is nonchalant.
I know, but
he's there all the time, but he's in his own little bubble at times. But now that he's grown up, he's started to change. But when he was younger, he would just act like he doesn't hear. You know what I mean?
I was in a group where we was talking about whether you'd put your mum in a care home, and whether it shows a lack of respect for your parent, and this girl was saying to me that if your parent or your mum or dad's got dementia, there's certain things that if your parents do have it, that you can't be there 24/7 for them,
100%.
which means you're gonna have to sacrifice your own life to be there for. Yeah, it's a tough.
Bro, and I did
a tough
for that
one.
period of time.
Yeah, if I get to that age and shit like that, put me in care home. I'm not trying to be no one's burden. Boom. Hope you enjoyed this episode and more to come.